Welcome back to our tours of the archives. Today we are going to actually do a tour of our stacks. That is our main storage area. But first we want to introduce you to Joan, because yesterday when we were doing our tour, she was on the phone helping another patron. So Joan, you want to wave? Joan is the one who usually helps patrons when they come in, get them set up and get them started on their research. So let's go ahead and walk back to the stacks. Now normally you're not allowed back into this area without someone with you, but we're going to take you back today. So come on back here, and just to kind of give you guys an idea, can you see the whole line here? So this is our main storage area, and actually the first probably I think about 11 rows, that's mostly our probate records, and our probate records date from 1803 to about 2007. So if you need anything related to probate, so that could be wills, estates, guardianships, trusts, miscellaneous stuff like name changes, those would be here at the archives, mostly. So we'll go ahead and come on down a little bit. And for those of you who may not know her, Robin is
Hi everyone!
our records manager and archivist here at Greene County. So if you need any questions about records management, she is your go-to person. Let's go ahead and keep coming down the aisles here. Like I said, the majority of this is probate. You'll see some stuff interspersed. We have some regional planning, we have some auditors. Like most people, you have to make things fit where you have the space. So we have some things that are on shelves with others, just because that's where we had space. You'll also see that we have various Archives Week and Archives Month posters from Ohio. So they're for, I think we have pretty much all of them to date. Robin says we're probably missing a few, but not too many. So we have these up throughout the archives. Come on down here. We have something of interest here. This is actually photographs. You can see they're a little faded now, but aftermath of the Xenia Tornado, which was April 3rd, 1974. And if Elise can find it, come on down here. One more photograph, the big one over here. Oh yeah. And actually, President Nixon came to Greene County and met with residents. So we have that photograph blown up and hanging up as well. And you'll also see that we've got some map storage here. We've got about, I think, four of these. Is that right, Elise? Mm-hmm. So this is map storage. If you lift it up, and it's hanging storage for maps. And these are all of our auditors' tax duplicates. So we have from 1826 to 2007. So you can see these larger books. These are your older ones. They can actually get pretty heavy. We had to move these about 4 or 5 times as we were putting in our new shelving units. So they can weigh up to about, what, 50, 60 pounds? Is that right? Mm-hmm. Depending on the size of the book, which you can see some are rather large. And then they changed to this style, which makes it a lot easier. So like I said, we have until 2007. We have a bunch of various maps too. So these maps come from the engineer's office, they come from regional planning, they come from parks, Board of Elections. We'll have a bunch of different types of maps. So if you have any interest in maps, we'll actually talk about those a little bit later this week in our storage area that's mostly for our maps. So we'll keep on going down here. So since she's right here, you look straight back. Our commissioner's journals, they date from 1803 to 1995. So we have those journals. We only have the first 4 volumes on our Flickr page, but the rest of them are here if you were to want to take a look at any of them. And then we have our aerials, a lot of the aerials along here. We have some scrapbooks. We have more maps. So you can see a lot of this is our flat storage for our larger oversized items. And then in this section, we have some of our older records, more fragile, things that maybe need a little more care. So we like to keep these in the back in our locked storage area. So we have stuff back here that needs to have a little more security maybe. And then you'll also see along this wall, we have various records again. So we have our recorders, we have some clerk of court records, we have probate, and I think auditor in this section. So this would be deeds, mortgages, dockets, both criminal and probate, and clerk of court dockets, some of the older ones. And we also have some of these state dockets. So if you're interested in state records, we have some of the early volumes. And so we pulled some things for you guys to see today. So first, since we started out with probate records, we thought we'd start out with a probate. This is actually a guardianship of Wilson S. Pennewitt. He was actually served in the Civil War, and something of interest is he actually sent a letter home, and it's talking about where he is, and it's actually dated 1864, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Oh, and so he's writing home, talking about he needs, well, I think he talks about needing some money, talking about his family members. So there's just some really interesting information on this. So we've made sure to put this in a sleeve and put it in its own separate folder so that it's protected. So that was something interesting we just wanted to show to you. As most of you are aware, we also have Emancipation Records of freed blacks from 1805 to 1845. And we actually did a program on this in February, and we showed these as well. So if you're interested in any of these types of records, these are actually out on Flickr, so you can look at these in their entirety. But it just kind of gives you an idea of what was included with these Emancipation Records and what was usually just the names, where they were from, and as they get further in, or like they go along, as you get closer to the 1845, it starts giving you more information about the person, a bigger description of who they are, a better description of who they are and what they look like. So they're really interesting records. So we have these here. We also have some naturalization records. So this is 1912 to 1929. As you can see, this is a fragile book here. So we'll just open this and show you a page. These are not imaged. So if you're interested in something like this, you would have to contact us. So this kind of gives you an idea. So the Declaration of Intention, which is one of the documents, one of the first documents you have to file to become a citizen. And then the petition, and you can see there's different forms included here. And some of these have photographs that are included with the Declaration of Intention. So it gives you a kind of a complete picture of the person. These are really great to use, especially for our educational programming. I also pulled, sorry, let me move stuff around a little bit. I pulled the pension claims applications for the Civil War because I actually put those out on Facebook today to show you guys that those were available on our Flickr page. And as you can see, the reason to have them digitized is this book is falling apart. So, open it up. This one is from 1889 to January to July of 1889. And so these are, as you can see, really fragile book, but it gives you a little bit of information about them, their examinations, why they were considered, or their separation reasons, disability reasons. So provides a little more information about the soldiers of Greene County during the Civil War. Elise left out some deed records books. I don't know if she was I think she was working on some.
Yes, I was working on those and I forgot to put them back.
That's okay. Now these are some interesting records. This is not something people think about finding in our archives in particular. This is actually a sketch of a murder scene. So it shows this is actually William Fletcher was murdered by his stepson, and Washington Galloway was asked to come and do a sketch of the murder scene. And so this shows where the area was, where his body was found. It's a very detailed map, but it's very interesting considering the fact that this is not something you expect to find. And we also have another one which is a little more detailed. And this is actually William Fogwell. Washington Galloway also did this one. So you can see, let me flip it around here, that he actually glued some pages together. So you can see where, let's see if I can find it on here again. So the whole section where the body was found, where different things, evidence was found along the way, where people were living. So it's just really interesting. Again, a lot of detail. Put the same amount of detail into this as he does his normal surveys. So that's just a little bit of what we have here in our stacks. Like I said, this is our main storage area, so you're going to probably find the majority of our records in this section. Now, we won't be doing a tour tomorrow. We'll actually be doing our program on the 1913 flood, the move of Osborne, and the birth of Fairborn. So if you haven't registered, we hope that you will go to our Facebook page and register today. That will start at 2 p.m. as well, and Elise and I will be doing that program. And we'll do a question and answer session afterwards. Now, Thursday we'll be doing a tour of our map room, and then Friday will be our microfilm vault. So we hope that you'll join us later this week. Thanks.